Good morning. Welcome to the Quantitative Methods in the Social Sciences Master's Program Virtual Open House for Fall 2021 here at Columbia University. Thank you for taking time to learn more about QMSS today. My name is Greg Eyrick. I'm the director of QMSS, and I've been the primary instructor for the program for the last 11 years. And I'm so excited for you to be here today because I believe QMSS really is one of the most unique and valuable master's programs you can be a part of. We are an interdisciplinary program that takes the best of the social sciences like economics, sociology, psychology, political science, and statistics, and we distill all that down into a course of study that provides a cutting-edge training in quantitative methods and data science, which is really applicable to almost any domain. If you've watched these videos from me from previous years, you know that I'm going to talk about how I have seen over and over again in just 1 year in our program, students have dramatically increased their quantitative skills and tremendously accelerated their career trajectories. And despite the massive changes in the world over this past year and a half, which we're all very aware, I'm happy to report that our students are continuing to grow and achieve so much this year as well. Students are back in classrooms and all around campus. They're learning from each other as they should be. I'm so happy to see them every day in person. And I'm very happy to be talking to you from my office, as usual. It is truly a testament to the amazing caliber of the students that we have join us every year that so much learning and community building is already happening at QMSS in this year as well. As I mentioned already, I see it every year over and over again, and I'm seeing it again this year. While students are very diverse and they enter our program with differing levels of formal quantitative training and social science knowledge, by the end of their time in our program, they have all learned a wide range of advanced statistical techniques and data science methods, the kinds of techniques and methods that allow them to get jobs at places like GM, MasterCard, Facebook, BlackRock, Palantir, the Census Bureau, the New York Mets, KPMG, Goldman Sachs, Progressive Insurance, ByteDance, Schmidt Futures, Newark at the University of Chicago, and so on. Likewise, students learn the skills necessary to get into top PhD programs. We do all we can to make QMSS a highly valuable experience for all of our students, and we do all we can to make sure that you leave the program with a large portfolio of projects that show from day one that you can add value to employers and departments. And this focus on results has allowed QMSS graduates to reach and indeed often exceed their goals. While there are no students here with me for this virtual open house, I'm sorry you're stuck just with me, I did want to provide the student perspective about their experiences in the program at least a little bit. And so I can share with you a few quotations from some of our recent alumni. And to be clear, I didn't solicit any of these comments. These students just sent them to me in light of their experience with the program. So one recent alum who's now working at a medium-sized organization not too long ago wrote to me to say, I want to say first to thank you for all of the help, guidance, and wisdom I received during my time as a QMSS student. I learned a lot in these years and enjoyed the program very much. Near the end of my years at QMSS, spring 2020, the pandemic started and things were difficult. And the assistance you provided for me during the virtual semester was really helpful for me to complete the program on time. In the application essay I wrote to QMSS, I stated I wish to use the analytics skills I learned from QMSS to do something good for society, such as working at an organization serving a purpose I believe in. I'm about to be able to do just that, as I accepted a job offer from just such an organization. I really appreciate QMSS for enabling me to get this opportunity, and I would not have gotten here without your work guiding me through the program. So that's wonderful to hear. We have another alum who graduated a year ago and is currently working at a very large organization. And they recently wrote to me to say, for the past year, I've been working at a company as a data engineer. I greatly appreciate your support during my time at Columbia. Thanks to you and the QMSS program, I feel very fulfilled and happy with my career switch to a data engineer. And then I have another alum who has just started working for a large tech firm, and they emailed me to say, I'm writing to share some good news about my recent job hunting. I interviewed with a number of big companies, and I am still waiting to hear from 3 of them. But I got an intent of offer letter from one of them already for the position of data scientist. I really appreciate your kind support during the job hunting process in the pandemic. If things go well for the next steps, I am more than happy to share the new openings of the company with QMSS students and the alumni network. We have another alum who is working at a very prominent tech firm who wrote me to say almost the same thing. They said, please let me know if I can help with anything in the future. QMSS got me where I am today, and I'm always happy to help. Another alum wrote me recently to say, I recently left my old job and have joined a new team. During interviews, they were super excited about my time at QMSS, so I'm still basking in the afterglow of your program. Thanks as always. And then finally, another alum just the other day sent me an email. They're working at a large firm to say, I'm doing very well. I'm currently a data scientist here, and a promotion to senior data scientist is in the trajectory for 2020. QMSS was a game changer for me. Getting that degree put me in a whole new playing field. So these kinds of emails from alumni are just so fantastic and rewarding, as you can imagine. And I could go on and on. We have dozens of students and alums and employers who tell me similar things every year. So how are we able to do all this? How are we able to help launch students on new and exciting trajectories in their lives? How are we able, in some ways, to really change their lives? Well, first off, we've been doing this a long time. As I said, we have been training students in advanced data analysis, data science, and applied statistics for 21 years. We were founded by one of the leading statisticians in the world, Andrew Gelman, and that makes us one of the most established MA programs of its kind in the world. And we have developed a program which is highly flexible and highly interdisciplinary. That is, the program is really organized around your interests and your goals. The flexibility means that you can take courses that you want to take. QMSS offers its own courses, which are uniquely suited to the needs of our master's students. So we offer courses in Bayesian statistics, geographic information systems, time series and forecasting, advanced regression models. And we also offer data science courses in data visualization, natural language processing, data mining, machine learning, advanced machine learning, practicum on big data analysis, applied data science, modern data structures, deep learning, social network analysis, and the list goes on and on. These courses are offered in R or Python, or more frequently in both. These courses are heavily attended by our own students because they're perfectly suited for their needs, with faculty who want to teach our students. And we make sure that you leave the program with the new skills and experiences that allow you to advance to the next level in your career. Now, I must note that we have an amazing group of faculty who teach these courses, not just lecturers and full-time teachers and research scientists, but also our adjunct faculty who are deeply committed to the mission of the program and really give a lot of themselves to it. And they've taught with us for many, many years. And they work as senior data scientists at a number of large firms and startups all around the city. Now, beyond that, we have unique relationships with the larger Columbia community to be able to offer a large range of courses from other programs, departments, and schools. Now, QMSS is a program grounded in social sciences, so many of our students take courses in those cognate departments, like economics, psychology, political science, statistics, sociology, and the like. But beyond that, students can take courses in other schools of the university, the business school, the School of Public Health, the School of Education, the School of Engineering, the School of International Public Affairs, where my office is, and other schools too. And in any given year, our students will typically take about 150 unique courses all around the university. And we've developed very special courses of study in a handful of fields that I'll talk about in a few minutes. And in order to offer maximum flexibility, we also offer our students the option to do QMSS part-time so that they can continue to work while taking classes. And this is a great aspect of the program that we've had since we started 21 years ago. Now, I still have a number of other important features to tell you about our program, but probably the biggest additional feature that I haven't told you about yet is the QMSS students themselves. Simply put, it is really my honor and privilege to teach and learn from them every day. The QMSS students are an incredibly diverse group of people. We have students with many disciplinary backgrounds: economics, public policy, political science, sociology, accounting, finance, chemistry, physics, computer science, math, marketing, and so on. They come from dozens of countries around the world, which is fitting for a school like Columbia. And many of them have years of experience in different industries and sectors. Because students are able to do the program either full-time or part-time, it turns out that since the beginning of the program, about 1 in 5 of our students have done the program part-time. Now, what they all share in common, however, is the fact that they are all, frankly, wonderful people who are willing to work really hard to learn and are willing to share with each other all the time. And they share with me too. It's one of the ways that I hope to continue to learn and grow and teach better. So being able to be around such amazing people day in and day out is an amazing privilege and a wonderful opportunity for me, as well as all the QMSS staff and faculty. And you don't just have access to current QMSS students, but you have access to all of the past students. And again, they are tremendous individuals. Remember, we are a very established MA program specializing in applied statistics and data science. And so we have 20 years worth of alumni as part of our network. Literally hundreds of proud, excited, successful, and loyal alumni are associated with QMSS. I keep up with a great number of them, and literally a week does not go by where I don't get a job posting from an alum saying they would love to have a current QMSS student join their organization. And indeed, last year, our alumni asked how they could help students graduating right during the pandemic, and they did so much. And now this year, the alumni have actually formed a permanent alumni council to be able to launch even more ideas and events and interactions with students. And I'm so proud of what our alumni are willing to do, how they're willing to help, and that they're always ready and able to do whatever they can when called upon. Now, one exciting development that I have reported on for the last couple of years, and I'm proud to say that it has still been continuing, is that QMSS is increasingly at the intersection of social science and data science here at Columbia. So I sit on the working group for computational social science, and I can see all of the amazing work happening around data science here at Columbia. And actually, QMSS students are sought out for data science projects and courses around the university. Last year, a number of our students worked as data science for good project teams with data science faculty as well. And QMSS's focus on data science is reflected in the way we teach our courses, where they have a large coding component, but it's not meant to be overwhelming at all. It's really meant to be a chance for you to continue to add in that element as you grow comfortable with it. It's also reflected in the courses that we ourselves are offering, things like data visualization, natural language processing, data mining, applied data science, modern data structures, machine learning, a practicum on big data analysis, deep learning, social network analysis. And this is reflected in the jobs that our most recent alumni are getting. As has been the case for the last few years, a great many of the recent reference calls I do for students have been for them to join data science teams at major firms and startups too. For most of the students, they're getting these jobs in data science by doing our data science focus and choosing their courses very wisely. In fact, I would say maybe the majority of our recent graduates have data science or data scientists in their titles at all sorts of firms, like hedge funds, nonprofits, tech firms, market research firms. And as I said, I am extremely proud of the training our students are getting and what sort of reception those students are continuing to find in the larger job market. As I mentioned, Columbia was able to bring all the students back onto campus and into classrooms this year. And this has been fantastic and has made it even easier to build and strengthen our unique community. We've continued to utilize the technology that makes it easier to connect with students, alumni, and professors, but there's nothing like learning together in a classroom every day. and every week. It's also fantastic for the students to find ways to connect to each other outside of classes, for study sessions, events, exploring the city, and so on. I must say that I'm so happy with how much we've been able to do together already, and this is only likely to grow next year and beyond. Now, allow me to walk you through a bit more systematically the overall design and logic of the program. So what is it you'll be actually doing while you're here at QMSS? Let me start off with the required courses for the program. These are the courses that all the students are going to take. There's about 4 of them. So the first one is a theory and methodology course. And this is meant to get everyone on the same page. Because we have folks coming from so many different backgrounds and so many different goals, it's really helpful for everyone to get to know the same material at the same time at the beginning of the program. And so this is going to allow students to practice various methods. It's going to help them figure out which questions match which methods. And the nice thing about this is you will develop a proposal for a research project, which you can start working on. And it frequently becomes the basis for other projects or for theses that you'll do. So it's a great first introduction. You will also take a research seminar course. And the great thing about this course is we bring all the research happening around outside of the QMSS into the class. And so that means we bring in speakers who are doing research work in other departments here at Columbia, so economics or public health or psychology. Likewise, it means we bring in data scientists and researchers working around the city to present the research that they do, whether it's at marketing firms or public policy organizations or what have you. And then obviously, we can occasionally bring in folks who are even further away via remote learning as well. So you get exposed to a lot of different kinds of research and how it might apply to things that you haven't really thought about. You will also take a thesis course in your last semester here at QMSS, and this is where everything sort of comes together. It is a major accomplishment for our students, and they're quite proud of it in the end. They end up speaking about it in interviews, on their resume, when they apply for PhD programs as well. And it's also wonderful because students have the chance to have a thesis advisor who can be anyone at the university. So you get a chance to really get input and knowledge from someone else who's an expert in the field. Lastly, there's a data analysis requirement. And this is usually fulfilled by taking a course focused primarily on regression analysis and econometrics. The great thing about this course is we allow you to use any data you'd like. So you can bring in data from your work or bring in data from your research assistantship or bring in data that's relevant and related to the kind of work you want to do when you graduate. And you can start using it week in and week out. And so you leave that course with a portfolio of analysis that you've already shown you can do, which is a great first step. Beyond that, course selection is quite open. As I said, it could be taking courses at any of the schools around the university, and we will work with you absolutely to make sure that you're picking courses that make sense and that will advance you along your career path and trajectory. But you have a lot of flexibility. As I said, hundreds and hundreds of courses are ones that are available to you to think about as well. Now, we do have some more structured plans available, built off of our very special relationship with a few departments and schools. So one is the economics focus. And this course of study allows students to take most of their remaining courses within the economics department. So things like microeconomics, macroeconomics, econometrics, real analysis, game theory, and lots of other electives within economics. This is a chance really to explore this if that's something you're interested in. And again, we've had a number of students do this over every year. As I've already mentioned, our other main focus is in data science. At this point, all students are going to get trained in data science to a degree, but for applicants who really want to learn the newest data science methods and the full data science workflow, we have even more exciting courses for our students to take. And as I said, over the past several years, we've built out a really very robust and dynamic curriculum in data science, teaching highly sought after courses, whether those are in data mining or applied data science or modern data structures or natural language processing or data visualization, machine learning, deep learning, large-scale data analysis, and so on. And a number of these courses mirror courses taught at Columbia's Data Science Institute, but they really reflect the social science focus that QMSS students have been known for. And these courses are all taught in either R or Python, as I said, or frequently both. Perhaps there's no better illustration of QMSS students directly using their data science skills to confront critical questions of the day than in our practicum class. So this course produced multiple teams of students who created valuable projects in collaboration with external research partners on critical problems of the day. In fact, 2 separate teams composed of QMSS students were selected as winners of the inaugural Columbia Data Science Student Course Project Competition, which was judged by the Data Science Institute's Education Working Group Committee. The QMSS teams were praised for their creative use of data science, their potential societal impact, and their data for good mission. One team working with the Opportunity Project, which is a Census Bureau initiative, developed an easy-to-use dashboard for rural leaders to access and deploy critical data about their communities. And these students were also selected as finalists in the Opportunity Project's own nationwide challenge. The other team, working with KPMG Consulting, developed a cutting-edge intelligent forecasting model for COVID cases, which can be accessed via interactive website, and which had the potential to provide valuable early warnings to many large organizations during a very uncertain year. QMSS students continued to excel out of the classroom as well. For instance, a team made up exclusively of QMSS students won first place in the 2020 Columbia-wide Data Science Society Hackathon. The team asked the question, can COVID-19 related factors like changes in mobility and government action predict when schools will reopen? And they delivered a compelling answer. And just recently, another group of QMSS students won the hackathon for 2021. So we are just so proud of them and what all that they've been able to accomplish. So you see over and over again, QMSS students are able to use the data science focus as their means to become data scientists. As I said, as always, QMSS has a close working relationship with the Data Science Institute here at Columbia. We've developed a number of strategic partnerships and valuable learning opportunities with them. And being part of the data science focus will certainly help students stay abreast of the latest initiatives and events in the space. Lastly, we have a focus in experiments where students can learn how best to develop large-scale field experiments or online experiments typically used in marketing. Now, we have a lot of other resources designed to enhance your experience here at QMSS. Probably the biggest additional opportunity is with our research assistantship program. So the research assistantship program is where we solicit ideas for research projects from faculty who then will engage our students as research assistants. And these are paid research assistantships. They have the ability for you to collaborate with a faculty member here at Columbia to contribute to a research project, potentially have it published or presented somewhere. And it's a really wonderful thing. We do dozens and dozens of these every year. Beyond that, many of our students work on internships, which they can do for credit. And many times those are the internships will eventually turn into job offers later on. In addition, there are university workshops. There's a workshop really almost every day if you wanted to take part in one. So those are lectures, those are brown bag lunches, those are working groups, and those are happening frequently in person or potentially hybrid or some in some instances still remote. But it will give you an absolute chance to be engulfed in the experience of Columbia, to push yourself in different directions, to learn more than you thought you could on any given subject. So another great set of options. There's even more going on here at Columbia around clubs and organizations and events. Beyond that, you're obviously in New York City, which is absolutely still the hub for a great many industries that you want to get involved with as well. So lots and lots to do while you're here. Now, at this time, I wanted to take questions that were raised at the live open house webinar we had a few weeks ago, and that had been emailed into us over the last month. Now, it will give me a chance to answer some other questions about things that you seem to want to know about our program and about Columbia more generally. So let me address a few of those questions now. All right, great. So I have one question here, which asks, if a candidate is interested in QMSS, the data science focus, what level of quantitative programming background is expected prior to the application and program? Great question. So we are really not expecting you to come in with any specialized training or background. We aren't expecting you to have coding experience or computer science experience or statistical training. That's what we're here to do. So we really want to look for you is just that you have an interest or an appetite for those sorts of things. And then what we do is over the summer, we'll start providing you with tutorials, exercises, materials that allow you to start to practice those things over the summer. And then when you get here, you'll be able to hit the ground running. But our classes typically do not assume you have that background. And so we start kind of from square one and build up from there pretty rapidly, but in a way that is very supportive of where you are. And so generally students find this is a way that they can really kind of grow at their own pace and not be overwhelmed, but also not be feeling like they're repeating things they already know. So generally I'd say that works out pretty well for folks. What we really want to do is not have it be a barrier to entry, to not have you feel like you're not ready. Again, as I said, we're here to teach you those things, and we've been developing this sort of over the last 20 years to be able to do that for you. And I've seen it over and over and over again that folks who came in not with much background in this, we're able to rapidly get that background. And so that's what we're here to do. Great question. Let me see, I have a couple other ones here as well. This is a good one. This asks about what are the qualifications or skills you're looking for in a candidate? And that's a great question. Maybe I can talk more generally about the application. Let me tell you one thing right off the bat, which is concerning the GRE. So last year we made the GRE optional for you to apply with, and we're doing the same thing this year. So the GRE is optional. You don't have to do it. You're welcome to do it if you think it would enhance your application to have a score from the GREs and provide that information, then we're absolutely happy to look at it and learn from it. But if you don't end up doing it, you don't want to do it, and you don't think it's helpful, then feel free to not include that information. We aren't using that at all as a cutoff. We're not using it as a filter. So it will not make any difference if you do or don't have your GRE scores included. So feel free to do whatever makes the most sense for you. And then in terms of more generally, what we're looking for in our applicants, again, we're really looking for folks that make sense and fit with what QMSS is trying to accomplish. And so one big way to do that is through your statement of purpose, your essay. We read them very carefully. I read hundreds and hundreds of applications every year to get a sense of who the folks are who are applying to the program and really trying to figure out who fits well with what we're trying to accomplish. So we want to get a sense from you of where you've been, where you are now, and where you want to go. And we want to get a sense of how you think QMSS can help in that process. And so you should feel free to explain your background to us, explain where you're coming from, explain what you're doing right now and where you stand, and explain what you think you want to do and how QMSS is going to potentially help you get there. Again, it doesn't have to be super specific. We aren't expecting you to know exactly what courses you're going to take or what your thesis topic is or anything like that. You're welcome to continue to explore ideas and options without knowing that. That's totally fine. That's very typical. What we do want to know, though, is at least that you have sort of, as I said, an appetite or interest in quantitative questions and quantitative methods, and that you're prepared to kind of learn and grow while doing them. Obviously, if you know certain things that you're pretty sure about, so for instance, if you know you're going to go part-time, you're welcome to tell us that. It's useful for us to know that. If you know what kind of focus you want to do, whether it's data science focus or economics focus, you're welcome to do that. You're not held to any of these, so you're welcome to change your mind eventually, ultimately, after you get more information. But if you know kind of some of those things in advance, you're welcome to include those in your statement of purpose as well. As I said, again, we're going to look at your application quite holistically, and we don't have any sort of cutoff for GPA or any specific courses we're looking to see or any specific background or any specific GRE. So really, you can just give us a great sense of who you are and we'll go from there. That's the biggest thing for us. We want to really find folks who work well together, who are really interested in what the program is all about, and we can help those folks really grow. So think about that as you apply, for sure. All right, I see a couple other questions here. This is an interesting one. So it says, I see that your application requires 3 letters of recommendation, 2 academic and 1 professional. I've been out of school for a number of years and I was hoping to submit letters that would reflect my current state of strength in analytics. Is that possible? Great question. So I want to be very clear about this because this is a requirement of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. So the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences requires that 2 of your letters be an academic letter. And so you want to make sure that you get those. Now, we totally understand that, especially for folks who've been out of school for a number of years, it may be a little bit hard to think of who exactly to have write those letters, or there may have a lot of time has passed, but we want you to do your best to try. One thing we can certainly do is we want you to think about your academic letters in the broadest way. So it doesn't just have to be professors that you've taken classes with, but it could also be professors you worked with, you did research for, that would know you as a student in any number of facets. And so think broadly about that, but we do want to see 2 letters from your that are academic in nature. Obviously, though, we would love to see ones that are professional, that reflect kind of what you're doing currently, what your capacity and potential is, what your track record has been. And so you're welcome to get letters from managers, colleagues, and others that know you well in that capacity as well, for sure. So feel free to include as many other letters as you'd like above and beyond those 2 academic letters to really flesh out your portrait. What we would not want to see happen is this be a barrier to entry. Absolutely, we want you to apply. We want you to figure out some way to make this work so that we can have a chance to review your application in its totality. So do look for 2 academic letters of recommendation, do your best there, but then feel free to supplement with any number of other things that would help us understand what's going on. So very good question. A couple other questions here. One is, there's a couple questions that are about the dual degree that we have with the School of International and Public Affairs. So QMSS has a dual degree option where you would get a QMSS degree and then also get a degree from SEPA, which would either be a MIA or an MPA degree. Since that's a little bit more of a complex process, I would direct you to the website for QMSS and we'll give you more detailed instructions about that as an option if you're interested. Likewise, I see there's a question here about the BA-MA or the 4+1, which is an arrangement that we have so that students can, as undergraduates here at Columbia College or at Barnard College or at the School of General Studies, they're able to join us on the earlier side to begin their master's as well. Again, that's a little bit specialized, so I would direct you to the website to get more information on that option. We have a question here about how do the RA-ships actually work? How do I know if I can work with a given professor? What are the parameters on the RA-ship? Great question. So again, the RA program is something where you'll get a chance to, over the summer before you join us, we'll solicit your resume and your interests, and we'll share those with faculty. We'll then reach out to you and see if they can make a match where your research and their research interests align, and then you'll get paid for the work you do over the course of the semester, potentially over the course of the year. And we have RA-ships that show up not just at the beginning of the year, but throughout the year. And so we can continue to add students to that. As I said, dozens and dozens of students to that. So more will be available in that as you get closer to joining us in the upcoming year. The last question is how do you choose courses from so many different places, from different departments and different schools? As I said, we're here to help advise that. I've been doing this for a decade or more. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of students go through the program to choose different places to go to get them where they want to be. And so I can give, and the rest of the QMSS team can give advice about which courses tend to work out well, which schools tend to be very open and helpful for our students. We can give you multiple options depending on your schedule, depending on your background, depending on your prerequisites. And so over the course of your time here, you'll have lots and lots of chances to consider different courses from different places. Each program and department and school does their registration slightly differently, and so we'll advise you about how to do that well. But it's something where we'll be there to advise you. And I'd say in general, that's sort of the big message, is that you're not alone. we're here to provide you the support and the background, the support and all the background information and all the preparation that you need to be successful. So don't worry about that. You know, the specific things, we're very happy to sort of continue to have you go through the program in a way that we can really best support you. All right, well, I think that I will probably stop there, since there's probably only so long you want to hear me answer questions. And you know, I want to be respectful of your time. So let me just say something in closing. First off, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope what you've learned about QMSS will help you in making an informed decision about your future. And I would very much encourage you to apply if you feel that QMSS might be a good fit for you and your goals. I really think we do have a track record of being able to get students to where they would like to be, regardless of where they've started from. So we really want to be very open to having as many different folks apply as possible, and we can really work with you. So I really encourage you to give us a shot and see what we'll be able to do for you. And then the last thing I'll say is this. One of the things that I think makes QMSS so special is that we really do focus on each individual student. We get to know you. We really take your needs and goals very, very seriously. And we work very hard to make QMSS a great place to learn and a great place that will hopefully be a wonderful part of your lives now and beyond. And so to that end, if you have additional questions that I didn't answer here, any at all, do not hesitate to contact the QMSS office. So you can email us at qmss@columbia.edu. Again, that's qmss@columbia.edu. And we are very happy to help out in any way we can. So please let us know what you're thinking. Please keep us updated, and we can build a relationship over this admission cycle. So with that, I'll say thank you so much and have a great, great day. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.